In May 2021, the MV Express Pearl cargo vessel caught fire and sank in the sea off the coast near the port of Colombo. In response to the environmental damage and the impact on fishing communities caused by the fire, a group of petitioners including His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith and members of the fishing community filed fundamental rights petitions before the Supreme Court seeking compensation. The petitions were heard over a period of 30 days before a 5-member bench of the Supreme Court comprising Chief Justice Murdu Fernando and Justices Yasantha Kodagoda, Shiran Gunaratna, Achala Vengapuli and Priyantha Fernando. Concluding the hearings, the bench delivered a comprehensive 361-page judgment today. The judgment was delivered by the Chief Justice. The ruling states that former Minister Nalaka Godaheva, who held the relevant portfolio at the time, along with the former chairperson of the Marine Environment Protection Authority, Darshini Lahandapura, and the Attorney General's Department, failed in their responsibilities to prevent the disaster. The Supreme Court held that these failures amounted to a violation of fundamental human rights. The bench further concluded that the Attorney General's Department acted arbitrarily, irrationally and unilaterally by failing to take criminal action under environmental law. As a result, the Supreme Court ordered the Attorney General's Department to initiate a formal investigation into the disaster through the Criminal Investigations Department within 3 months and to report progress to the court. Additionally, the court directed the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, to begin a separate inquiry, and to update the Supreme Court every 3 months on its progress. The Supreme Court also ordered the establishment of 2 commissions: the MV Express Pearl Compensation Commission, chaired by retired Supreme Court Justice EAGR Amarasekara, and MV Express Pearl Marine and Coastal Environmental Restoration Commission, to be chaired by the Secretary of the Ministry of Environment. The court further instructed that independent experts be appointed to both commissions. The judgment also found that the ship's master, operator and local agent had concealed the vessel's actual condition from the Colombo port master, which directly contributed to the severity of the disaster. Each party was deemed individually responsible. Moreover, the court noted that the shipping company violated international law by failing to notify Sri Lanka as required under global maritime regulations. The Supreme Court ruled that the Attorney General's decision to refrain from filing criminal charges related to the MV Express Pearl disaster and instead pursue civil litigation in a Singaporean court was unjust, irrational and arbitrary.
The legal proceedings are not over yet. The case will be taken up again on the 25th of September. The continuation of this legal process is itself a significant feature. Not only that, a directive has been issued to the Director General of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, to conduct a special investigation into the corruption allegations related to this matter, and to report to the Supreme Court within 3 months.
12 respondents were named in the petition, including the Minister of Environment, Minister of Fisheries, Minister of Ports, Chairman of the Ports Authority, Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, the company that owns the MV Express Pearl, its local agent, Marine Environment Protection Authority, the Central Environmental Authority, and the Attorney General's Department. 15th of May 2021, the MV Express Pearl departs from Hazira Port, India en route to Colombo. On board, 25 tons of nitric acid, 1,486 containers carrying various chemicals and cosmetic products. May 19th, 2021, the vessel arrives near the port of Colombo and anchors approximately 9 nautical miles offshore, awaiting entry clearance. May 20th, 2021, a fire breaks out on board the MV Express Pearl. 13 days later, the vessel is destroyed and sinks into the sea. Impact on the sea of Sri Lanka. Severe marine environmental damage. Approximately 1,680 metric tons of plastic pellets released into the ocean. Chemical leakage causes widespread pollution. Over 200 dead turtles discovered along the coast. Dead fish and other marine life, including dolphins, found at various locations. It was later revealed that the vessel arrived in Colombo while a container carrying nitric acid was already leaking. Reports indicate that both Hamad Port in Qatar and Hazira Port in India had refused permission to offload the leaking container. Various statements were made by government ministers regarding the disaster. Among them were allegations involving a $250 million bribe as claimed by a former minister. The 361-page Supreme Court judgment was delivered by a 5-member bench in response to this catastrophic incident.